Imagine you're on a road trip across the country in your trusty but slow minivan. You keep running into traffic jams that slow your journey to a crawl, but then you discover the interstate. High-speed express lanes that get you to your destination in no time. That's what Layer 2 is for blockchains. A faster freeway that helps them scale for mass adoption. They refer to protocols built on top of base blockchains like Ethereum to increase transaction speeds and lower fees. By handling transactions off-chain and settling on Layer 1, Layer 2 overcomes congestion and opens up possibilities for mainstream blockchain adoption across payments, NFTs, DeFi, and more. Let's dive in and explore this scaling solution that's got the crypto world so excited. Understanding blockchain limitations. First, let's talk about why Layer 2 solutions are needed in the first place. You see, networks like Bitcoin and Ethereum have some technical limitation when it comes to transaction speed and scalability. Bitcoin, for example, can only process about 7 transactions per second. Compare this to the thousands per second processed by Visa and MasterCard. As blockchain adoption grows, the limited capacity of Layer 1 networks creates congestion, causes spikes in fees, and ultimately hinders mainstream usage. These limitations exist because every transaction on Layer 1 chains, like Bitcoin and Ethereum, requires global consensus across the entire network. This blows up the block size and bogs down the system. But what if there was a way to take some of the load off of the main blockchain? Well, that's exactly what Layer 2 aims to do. Layer 2 refers to a secondary framework or protocol that sits on top of an existing blockchain. The key idea is to move transactions off of the main chain, hence Layer 2, to improve throughput and lower fees. An easy analogy is to think of Layer 2 as a side road that diverts traffic from a main highway. By moving transactions to the Layer 2 side road, we can decrease congestion on the Layer 1 highway and enable it to focus on priority transaction. Pretty neat, right? Now let's look at how Layer 2 systems actually work their magic. The core mechanism behind Layer 2 is handling transactions off-chain before bundling and settling them on Layer 1. Instead of directly interfacing with the main chain, users transact via Layer 2 protocols first. Think of it like this. At a coffee shop, you don't pay for each sip or bite. You add up the total bill and settle it all at once at the end. Similarly, in Layer 2, only the final state or end result gets written to the underlying blockchain. This batches transactions together and condenses on-chain activity. Let's walk through a simple example. Say Alice wants to send 5 ETH to Bob. In a Layer 2 system, this transaction happens off-chain. Only the final balances of Alice and Bob are recorded on the main Ethereum blockchain. As you can see, this significantly reduces the volume of activity that needs global consensus. By deferring execution away from Layer 1, Layer 2 solutions unlock much higher throughput for users. But how do they actually work under the hood? There are a few main approaches. Types of Layer 2 solutions. Some popular categories of Layer 2 solutions include state channels, side chains, plasma chains, and rollup. Let's briefly cover how each one works. State channels handle transactions between two parties off-chain and submit the final state to Layer 1. For example, a state channel could exist between a customer and an e-commerce site. Side chains are separate companion chains that process transactions and then relay to the main chain. Think of them as express lanes that sync up with Layer 1 periodically. Plasma chains are side chains that use fraud proofs and hierarchical tree structures to achieve scalability, making them as secure as the main chain consensus mechanism. They can also handle more complex logic compared to state channels. Lastly, rollups bundle or roll-up transactions off-chain into a single Layer 1 transaction. They use zero-knowledge proofs to maintain decentralization and security. As you can see, there are several flavors of Layer 2 solutions emerging, each with their unique strengths. Benefits of Layer 2. At this point, you may be wondering, if Layer 2 is so great, why do we even need Layer 1 anymore? Well, Layer 1 still acts as the trust anchor and settlement layer. It provides provides the base security guarantees for off-chain transaction. Think of it like the difference between the Federal Reserve and your local bank branch. That said, Layer 2 solutions do bring tremendous benefits, like faster transactions. By handling transactions off-chain, Layer 2 overcomes blockchain speed and latency issues. Settlement on Layer 1 is still slower, but the user experience is much faster. Lower fees. Congestion and demand on Layer 1 drives up gas prices. Layer 2 solutions save users these excessive fees. Improved scalability. Layer 2 can process thousands of transactions per second versus fewer than 10 on Bitcoin or Ethereum. This unlocks new blockchain use cases. Together, these benefits will help push blockchain technology into the mainstream. Users can enjoy fast, smooth experiences for payments, DeFi, NFTs, gaming, and more, all with the underlying security of the blockchain. In summary, Layer 2 solutions like state channels, sidechains, and rollups help scale blockchains for the future. By moving transactions off-chain, they enable faster speeds, lower fees, and greater throughput, while still leveraging Layer 1 for security. As blockchain adoption grows, Layer 2 will become increasingly important. Major blockchains are already launching or integrating Layer 2 solutions as part of their roadmaps for the coming years. There's still much innovation to be done, but it's an exciting time for scaling blockchain technology. Hopefully you now have a solid grasp of the basics behind Layer 2 and why it is so valuable. Let us know if you have any other questions. Thank you for watching.